In this video, I'm going to share with you 7 steps to cure procrastination. Do you find yourself avoiding or delaying tasks that are difficult, unpleasant, or just boring or stressful? If you are interested to find a practical solution, then pay special attention to this story. This is David. He is 30 years of age and works as a project manager for a German company. He is responsible to overlook the maintenance of commercial aircrafts. In the past, when he had to do a project, procrastination often took over at some stage, causing additional stress when deadlines came close. Let's see what happened when he wrote his graduation thesis back in university. On the day the topic was assigned, David planned all tasks until the submission deadline 12 months later. It would look like this. At the beginning, he would start slow and then gradually picking up over time. After 4 months, he did not do anything as there was still plenty of time ahead. So his new workload would look like this. 4 months later, like this. And 4 weeks before the submission deadline, he realized that this is getting really tight. He then cancelled gym membership for a month as well as all of his weekend activities with friends, so he had sufficient time to focus on the thesis only. 2 days before, David still has not done anything and seriously started to panic. He locked himself in the room and worked non-stop for 72 hours. Then he ran to the nearby store to print the thesis, took a taxi back to the submission office, and 2 minutes before the final deadline, he submitted the document. 2 days later, the professor personally gave him a call to talk about his thesis. The panic immediately came back as he saw himself being kicked out of university. The professor told him that this was the best thesis over the last 10 years and he would like to nominate David for a science prize. Of course, this is not exactly what happened. There was no such call and David passed the thesis with the worst grade possible. He got frustrated and was not happy with himself. These things always happened to him. Not only did he delay important projects, but also small things such as getting up in the morning, cleaning the room, or grocery shopping. Everything was delayed. This also frustrated his girlfriend Naya. In the past, she also was a frequent procrastinator. What turned her life around was a publication she read from Harvard Business Review explaining 7 practical steps that cure procrastination. The link you will find in the description below. Of course, David never wanted to experience this situation again. So he checked out the publication. This was his journey, learning and implementing all 7 steps. 1. Schedule. This one sounds very basic, but many people struggle here already. Breaking down a large task into monthly, weekly, and daily portions is key to get things done. David knew this already as he planned his thesis well. The execution was the tricky part as he was missing one more step after the planning was done. Now, he added a schedule for focused work sessions by blocking his calendar with reminder, so these periods are dedicated to work on the tasks and cannot be changed. 2. Systemize. Things that frightened David in the past caused him to procrastinate. He learned a 3-step system to help whenever a new task came up that he did not do before. First, identify 3 possible ways to approach the task. Then, think about what can go wrong with each approach. And last, assess the time required. Let's take the example of a recent paint job that he had to do at his house. One option was to hire a painter. The thing that could go wrong with it was a dispute about price or delay in the schedule. This was the fastest version, as a painter usually does the job most efficient. Another way was painting by himself. There was a risk for quality, as he was not a professional. The time is very long in this case. The next option was doing the paint job by himself, but together with friends. The risk for quality was the same as before, but it would be a lot faster than earlier options. Based on this three-step approach, David was able to choose the optimal way for him, having all options, risk and time in one overview available. Now, he was not afraid of taking on new tasks anymore. Especially when he started his new job at the aircraft service provider, this three-step system proved very valuable in managing new challenges. 3. Disentangle feelings. Researchers also call it emotional granularity, or simply put, analyze and change your emotions caused by the tasks on hand. For example, David had to prepare a presentation for his boss about the business performance. Before he started, he took a piece of paper and wrote down all emotions he observed during the task. These were anxiety, resentment, boredom, and so on. Then he ranked each emotion from 1 low to 10 high. Afterwards, for each emotion, a solution to reduce the value was added. Here are a few possible solutions. If a task bores you, schedule a reward for completing it. You may get frustrated or resentful by teammates requesting for your help. Try to think about your value being a supportive colleague. Or if the task makes you anxious, start with the elements of it that make you less apprehensive and progress from there. This rating system can help you to measure and understand how effective you are in minimizing the emotions. Science proved the more people use this system, the happier, healthier, and higher performing they tend to be. David did this exercise for his job on the top 10 tasks he didn't like, and ended up improving his emotion on all of them. 4. Self-compassion. Not even 3 months on the job, David had to do a presentation facing 120 people of the department he was working for. He stepped on the stage well prepared. After just a few words, he started to stutter, which made him forget half of his preparations. What happened to him was caused by an old memory from university. Back then, he held a presentation in front of the class, but was not well prepared, as he prioritized to go out for drinks the night before. This caused him a total blackout soon after his presentation started. He felt so bad about it that this memory always comes up when he had to do a presentation. Memories can take over your emotion throughout the whole life. If you notice a pattern of powerful emotions, don't worry. Research suggests that these wounds can heal with emotional self-talk. An example could be, my performance was bad in the past, and this is making me hesitant. I was inexperienced and now I'm an expert. It is okay to fail and learn through experiences. The next quarterly update was due, and David held the presentation for the whole department with very high confidence, as he now understood the importance of emotional self-talk. 5. Reverse brainstorm. In the next step, David learned to think about everything that would make a specific task impossibly hard. He wrote it down and came up with the exact opposites, which made him feel less blocked. Here is an example. Creating a presentation seems unachievable, imagining to get it done perfectly the first time, or having to do it exactly the same style as a colleague that you admire. The flip side of this is that the task will seem easier if you accept that missteps and imperfections will occur if you approach it in your own way. David had a successful blog about sports, which he ran passionately in his free time. He applied this skill set to draft a story for his presentations. He knew how to make a few points quickly and to keep the language conversational. He soon was asked to take over a leading position, as his presentations were the only one in the company where no one of the participants fell asleep. 6. Accept friction. David was always doing the minor tasks first, and when time was available after that, bigger topics were being tackled. Minor tasks are often done quickly, without many barriers. Therefore, we prefer to tackle them. Don't make the mistake thinking frictionless work equals productivity. Diverse teams, for example, often generate better ideas but can experience more tension. When you feel tense and challenged, for instance, you might conclude that you are not making sufficient progress or move in the wrong direction. It is important to understand this phenomenon and recognize when it's happening to you. Keep in mind, when you approach your task as strategically as you can, you will make progress even if it doesn't feel that way. Now, David is balancing minor and major tasks different, as he now understands that the highest efficiency often is achieved by tackling the biggest items first. 7. Limit workload. When a task was important, David sometimes believed he needed a marathon session to get it done. This thinking triggered even more procrastination, adding to the workload down the line. To overcome this, he scheduled an active time between 10 and 90 minutes per day, depending on the size of the task. By that, he programmed his mind to focus on the topic only. If it was a very large task, he increased the focus time each day by 10 minutes to extend the daily attention span. David now schedules 2 hours in the morning and 1 hour in the afternoon to focus on his important tasks. It took him 2 months to adjust his mind and his habits step by step. Now he is benefiting greatly from it. Following these 7 steps improved the life of David significantly. He built the house he recently moved in with his girlfriend Naya all by himself. He got hired by another company to run the global airline maintenance business. On top of that, he took a second job for a sports magazine as he was offered to take over their website management. Together they have 1 kid and the second is on its way. Naya is running her own second-hand shop, and in addition she is working in an elderly home twice a week voluntarily. Sounds like a very busy life, but they still have plenty of time for their kid, friends and family. The major reason why David and Naya are able to handle so many things in parallel are these 7 steps to cure procrastination. Do you find yourself procrastinating? Or do you have already applied some tools that help you to overcome it? Leave a comment below and share your thoughts. If you enjoyed the story, give it a like and subscribe to my channel so you will not miss out on any update. This video was presented to you by The German Engineer, your channel for money, saving, efficiency and growth.